My name's ClareAnne, as you heard, and I am a very greedy girl. This has made me passionate about cooking and also interested in the science of flavour and taste. I am a professional cook, as we said, and also I teach cookery. This one picture is what I thought I was going to be doing as a glamorous chef. The other is actually what I do. Teaching and cooking for people who are not particularly interested in food and it's maybe not their main passion in life. So I try to encourage my students to taste consciously, and I really do think this helps them when they're learning about food. Cooking is simply defined as the preparation of food to eat. But the word cook is also derived from the Latin coco, which means to ripen a fruit on a branch. And I think that's what chefs are really trying to do. They're trying to reimagine that natural process of making something that's not only edible, but something that is delicious. That was a durian fruit. It's really stinky, but it tastes good. This brings me on to flavour. Flavour is a word that encompasses a huge amount of things. When you eat, you don't only taste, but you're also influenced by the appearance of the food, the sounds that it makes, and also the chemical processes in your mouth. Chilies will make it burn, menthol is going to make it cool down, and even carbon dioxide in food gives you that kind of stinging, tickly sensation that you get. But for me, the most important part of flavour is aroma. Smell is a potent wizard that transports you across thousands of miles and all the years you have lived, said Helen Keller. But for me, it's not just the scent of a dish that's important. Your olfactory system has a huge part to play in how you perceive flavour. I'm sure all of us at some time or other have had our olfactory systems compromised. You've had a runny nose from having a cold or having hay fever. And you've tasted food and it tastes different. It tastes less than somehow. Also, in space, this is a problem. This is an in-joke. And science fiction movies, you'll find the same thing. In space, zero gravity, all the fluids in your body will rise, the mucus in your nose will rise, and you will have a blocked nose. So on that, please pinch your nose or someone else's nose and taste your first sample. This is a very poor experiment to give you an idea of what it's like to have anosmia, which is when you lose your sense of smell completely. This spiky-haired fellow is Gary Rhodes. He's a chef who suffered from temporary anosmia, but still continued to cook. Taste sensations are provoked by small organic molecules and proteins, and it's the volatile molecules that I'm interested in. This is not what a volatile molecule is, but I kind of hoped it would have looked like that. Volatile molecules are important, but not all of us can perceive them. Naturally, some people can't perceive all the volatile molecules that we should be able to detect. Cinnarol is a bit like camphor. A lot of people can't take that. And B-ianone has got the scent of violets. It's apparent in a lot of ripe fruit. We all live in our own olfactory world. Our olfactory system's as unique as we are. Every olfactory sensor is coded by one specific gene. We have about 1,000 genes in our body that are dedicated to solely detecting aroma. Each receptor cell has one coded gene for it, and they're all in one spot in your olfactory system. So I kind of viewed it like that big light board, and when you smell something, they light up in a different kind of combination of factors, and that will tell you the difference between an apple and a pear. This is not a poor scientific diagram. This is notes of a colleague of mine for making the best aromatic chicken stock. And I think that this illustrates the influence that science is now having on how we cook as chefs. This is a dish by Juan Roca. He's another chef that is obsessed with aroma. And here, there's a perforated liner that the squid is sitting on. So every time you dig in for a bite, that paprika smoke that's underneath is released. You get the perfect amount. And this chef has kind of reversed what we expect to have with aroma. We'd expect a cigar smell, but this is an amazing Cuban-style smoked pork sandwich that gives off the most fantastic aroma. And even humble cooks like myself hack flavour by playing around with aroma. Here I've got a beetroot soup, but I've made a vodka licorice spray to go with it. You wouldn't want licorice in your soup, but the flavours go so well together. So now I would like you to taste your second sample, please. Breathe really, really deeply. And you get extra credit if you can tell me the 5 elements that are in the oil that the bread is soaked in. Thank you very much for listening.